Hello, friends. Here to follow up with you. It's been like a couple months now since my ileostomy reversal. The last video I did was 2 weeks after the ileostomy reversal. Now it's been a couple months. So just catching up on things. I've had some interesting sort of things happen to me recently. So after the reversal, I had some abdominal pain, which is like typical, so it wasn't a big deal, but it just kind of persisted, and it may have gotten worse. I think it got worse, but I thought that I had a hernia, perhaps, because that's pretty common after these surgeries, and I get back to heavy weightlifting pretty quickly after all of them. So I was like, oh no, I have a hernia or whatever, so I'm gonna have to get that fixed. But I was telling my surgeon about this, so she ordered a CT scan for me, and I got the CT scan, and they ended up having a blood clot in my liver. So that's kind of funny, but not a big deal. I'm on like an Eliquis, like a blood thinner for 3 months or so, and it went away like right away. So that's cool, but that was pretty crazy. I've never had a blood clot. A liver blood clot. It sounds scarier than it is. I think people hear blood clot and they, it's a scary word. So that was one thing that happened. I'm still on the blood thinners. I'll be on them for another month or so, but that's all fixed up. Another interesting thing going on is, I've been incredibly fatigued this past 2 years or so because, long story short, 2 years ago, the prednisone that I was on to treat my colitis, they stopped working. The pill stopped working, so that's when I had a little bit of time where I tried like budesonide and fasting, and I tried just about every diet. But eventually there was nothing I could do. I had to get the surgery. I had dead gut, as they call it. My large intestine was no longer alive, so they had to remove it. But anyways, I've been terribly fatigued, and it seems like there was always some kind of excuse people would give me. They'd be like, oh, well, you haven't been eating. That's probably why you're fatigued. Oh, well, your gut's inflamed. Oh, well, you're on this medication. You don't sleep enough. You work out too much. You're too active. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody's always throwing excuses my way. And then recently it's been, well, you just got these surgeries. You shouldn't, of course you're tired. But, so I wanted to just be sure I didn't have some sort of hormonal issue, because that's very common after long-term prednisone usage. And I was on prednisone for almost 8 years straight, different dosages, because if you've had prednisone, you start at a high dose and then you have to wane off of them, or else you get you'll get issues. You'll get kidney issues and liver issues and that sort of thing. So I got a hormonal panel done. Well, I got my testosterone checked. I shouldn't call it a hormonal panel. I got my testosterone checked. I had my surgeon order the script because I don't have a primary doctor. Well, I didn't at the time. So she ordered the blood work. I got it checked, and my testosterone's very low, free and total. Maybe I can put the results in the video somehow, but very low. They're like the levels of like a 45 to 50-year-old, and I am 22. So I'm vindicated at least, so that's nice. So now I have to meet with an endocrinologist. So it looks like there's going to be a whole series of videos I can make in the future on my way back to good health. So low testosterone, liver blood clot, low testosterone. But let's talk about the J pouch, I guess, the ileostomy reversal. It hasn't been bad. It's been tolerable. super inconsistent. You know, sometimes you have you have good days and bad days, so to speak. And I have like pretty consistent gut issues after dinner every day. I'm assuming it's just portion sizes, but it's tricky because I work 7 to 5:30 in like a lumber yard, so it's, what am I supposed to do? I can't really eat bigger meals there. I have to eat very tiny meals. So I can't just eat tiny meals all day. I'm gonna be a skeleton, you know? So I try to eat as large as I can without having these gut issues, but I usually have like one bout of diarrhea after dinner. I still do little to no fiber. I do not tolerate fiber. My surgeon told me to incorporate fiber again, try it out. It doesn't ever work. So I'm low fiber for life. You're not going to catch me eating vegetables. I might eat, you know, a banana sometime, but and like an applesauce. But I'm not eating more than one. You know what I mean? So super low fiber forever, probably. I'm probably using the bathroom like on the low end 7 times a day, high end like on like a bad day like 15, but that would be like a really bad day. That doesn't happen often. It averages about 10 probably. There are some days, Mondays pretty consistently, because I do this blues class. I play the saxophone and I do a blues class. And it's late at night and it's right after work, so sometimes I'll skip dinner. I'll just have a protein bar. And, you know, it'll be less on those days because I'm eating less food, obviously. Man, I see this one. Looks like my hair's sticking out on my beard, and it's driving me nuts because I'm using my iPhone camera, so I'm looking at myself. Whatever. So things are improving, and that's very good. I still have a stitch like dangling out of my closure, which is fully healed, so I might have to get that like cut out of me. They're supposed to dissolve, but it's not dissolving. Usually I believe it's a faster process than this. Here, I'll see if the video can see it. This will be interesting. This is what it looks like. So that's the wound. That's where the ileostomy was. I don't think you can see the stitch there, but there is a very thin, dissolvable stitch sort of sticking out. I tugged on it. It was going in both the left and the right, and I tugged on it because I wasn't sure what it was, which was silly. So it came out of one side, and then it was just like sticking straight out. So I had at my last job at a retirement home, I had one of the RNs cut it shorter for me. So I might have to get that like cut out of me. I don't really know. But the wound it's kind of neat to think that like you had an organ there like not very long ago, and now the wound is like totally closed. Yeah. I'm on the only medications I'm on now are the blood thinner, the Eliquis that I was just talking about, and then it's a generic form of Imodium, which I think I talked about in the last video, but I'm taking 3 a day, 2 milligram tablets. 3 times 2 is 6, so 6 milligrams of that, and that's doing good for me. You know, some people get the surgery and they have to do more than that sometimes. Sometimes they do less. Sometimes they don't need any at all. 3's been doing me pretty good. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once at night before bed. Yeah, but the big exciting stuff right now, because the liver blood clot, that's over with, whatever. The exciting stuff is that I've been vindicated on my chronic fatigue issues that I've been complaining about for the past 2 years. Because, you know, I was on this prednisone, and I just felt like a superhuman. I never had to sleep. I was getting heavy. I was muscular. But, of course, there were tons of issues with that. I was getting bloody noses, like a couple a day. My blood pressure was super high. I'd get, like, blurry vision sometimes. I mean, you know, if you've been on prednisone, you're covered in acne, moon face, blah, blah, blah. But you feel incredible. At least I did. I felt invincible. I was unstoppable. But yeah, I just built a tolerance to it. I was addicted to it. Whatever. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm supposed to get a call from the endocrinologist this upcoming week, and then I'll meet with them, and then they'll give me some blood work. I likely have some form of adrenal insufficiency or something like that. So they will hopefully prescribe me something real good, and I'll get real muscular, which is also why I have not been posting a lot of training footage, because it's boring. Sometimes I look at it from like an outsider perspective, and I'm like, why am I even posting this stuff? Because, you know, you got to be impressive to catch eyes and to get views and subscriptions, and I'm just like cataloging my shitty training, basically. Because I've gotten weaker. You know, I'm posting these videos and I've gotten like way weaker in the past, since I started the YouTube channel like ages ago. So maybe there's a future where I'm doing cool things in the gym again, but it's not right now. So yeah, I'm hoping to get some testosterone, get my testosterone better, and then I'll be all set. I'm sure in like a year's time this will be really fun to talk about, but right now I'm doing okay and things are still improving. That's all I got, and I'll probably check in again with you once the testosterone is getting figured out. Okay, see ya.